All right. All right.
Was that for me, was it?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm all good.
Hello. All right. Welcome to the Ultimate Fighting Chat podcast. That's for you and everybody. We're going to have a little chat today about, only a little chat about UFC Fight Night, Kattar versus Chikadze, that happened on the 15th of January 2022. So, it was the first fight card of the year. But first one back, crap, wasn't it? I tell you what, it's probably the most I've ever done this. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
I thought you might. I thought you might, right? I did quite a lot of those speedy ×3 arrows on it. There's no, as a matter of fact, there was only 2 finishes on the whole card, which, as you know, being a fight fan and watching a lot of this stuff, that is not indicative of a bad card or bad fights. No finishes doesn't mean that, does it? Take the main event. It was a good fight. They didn't have a finish.
On the card by a mile.
Right. They don't have to have.
Saved the card really to a degree, because that's the one where Fitzgerald went, I've needed this in my life, or whatever. And he was right. It was a good fight, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So it's good that the main event delivered and was good, because the preceding 9 fights or whatever it was, I was watching going, I don't need this in my life. I was sitting there in front of the telly going, I could be doing so many better things at the moment, rather than watching Katlyn Chookagian shadow boxing. You know, I could be down the gym, I could be vacuuming the house, I could be doing anything.
Anything would have been better. For me,
trimming my toenails, anything.
Yeah.
So
but anything for me would be better than watching Court McGee.
Sorry?
I said anything would be better than watching Court McGee. I mean, that guy, there's nothing exciting about that bloke. Now, he doesn't have to be exciting, but there's nothing exciting about him. I mean, the Crusher.
That's I like his name, the Crusher.
No, but as I said to Gav, the only thing that fella crushes is my patience. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Bad.
Crushes my will.
But anyway,
desire to watch the fight card. Yeah.
But he's on the prelims, and we're not chatting about the prelims.
No. All right.
We're chatting about the main card. So,
do
you want to chat about the main card? Let's chat about the main card now. Right.
I want to chat about the main card.
You don't want to, did you say?
That's right.
Oh, okay. Well,
I covered it. It was crap. Chikadze was wicked. See you next week.
You could leave it there, but maybe there's reasons why it was crap. So the first fight on this card is Bill. Was his name Bill Signor Perfecto Algeo versus Joanderson Tubarao Brito. Good name he's got, Joanderson. It's like a mixture of a bloke and a woman, Joe and an Anderson. Joanderson. Good name, no?
It's all right.
Oh, God's sake. Right. Okay. That's how it's going to be, is it? Well, I actually thought this fight weren't too bad. I liked both of them. I know we said we've liked Algeo before, but this weren't too bad. It's a bit of a rough scrap. And I like the old, did you like the stamps on the hand? You know, when he had his hand on the mat to stop himself getting kneed in the face, he was stamping on his hand. I don't think that was quite a good move.
I didn't really like this fight that much, if I'm being honest.
Okay, but what about that bit? Brito had his hand down to stop him getting kneed in the face, and Algeo went, all right, I can't knee you in the face, so I'm going to stamp on that hand.
Well, I think Algeo or whatever. How do you pronounce his name? Algeo? They say Algeo.
I was more worried about the Senor Perfecto bit, but all right. The Senor bit, because you know it's that French thing, is it? Senor, is that how you say it?
Senor is Spanish. Isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, all right. Well, there you go. I can't do Spanish pronunciation, can I?
Si, senor.
Oh yeah. All right, senor. All right.
Anyway, bloody hell.
Right.
I don't know.
Perfecto off.
I quite like Bill Algeo, so I think he's quite crappy. He's got a little bit of a Nate Diaz sort of element to his fight style. Joanderson was a little bit run of the mill. He was okay, but But yeah, it was. I would say it was a closely contested fight all the way through. Right, it was always.
It was, yeah.
I think Bill was actually eating quite a lot of shots, more than the commentary team were recognising. I think he was getting hit with pretty much everything that Joanderson was throwing.
I agree. I thought we were closer. No, yeah. It was
Yeah.
you know,
So it was one of those ones when it came to the decision, I was like, this could go either way. But like I say, I think he's all right, Algeo. He's got that little Nate Diaz sort of element to him, you know, scrappy, a bit sort of long, rangy, a bit spindly, but, you know, sort of wriggles around a lot and stuff like that. He's not too bad. I guess the probably most interesting thing will be his post-fight chats.
Yes.
He told the Georgians to go home or something after Mr. Durden's similar comments. It seems to be a bit of a running theme now. Perhaps this is going to be the way to get a little bit of attention, is to say something like that. But, yeah, he told the Georgians to go home, something like that, and said he wanted to fight Chikadze after Kattar had knocked him out or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And he called him a Biden voter or something like that as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
I didn't get that, but I mean,
as far as I'm aware, right, Chikadze is Georgian and he lives in Georgia, right?
You probably don't anymore, though, does he?
Even if he trains in America, he's not going to be probably a registered voting citizen, is he? By the way, I just thought it was a bit.
How do we know? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what he said. I didn't much say about it, but that's what he said. Yeah, it's a bit strange.
I'm not touchy about stuff like that.
I don't care.
But but it just seemed like a bit of a sort of. I bet you if Chikadze heard that, he'd be like, I don't even know who Biden is. What's he talking about?
Yeah, so, and even if he did, it'd be, so what? So what if I do vote for him? Is that meant to be a smash? Is it? Who cares?
Yeah. So it was a bit of a, I don't know. It seemed like a bit of a desperate attempt to get some attention. I don't think it's got as much attention as Durden got. Durden seemed to catch quite a lot of flack for his comments. Not sure.
Did, yeah.
I've seen Algeo getting the same sort of criticism, but whatever, you know.
Well, the truth is, right, he won by unanimous decision, Bill Algeo, and we are trying our very best to find something to chat about in this fight. And, you know, of all the fights on the card, barring the main event, there probably is a little bit to chat about compared to them, but I think that's enough already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See you later.
You think?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He's not bad. He's not bad, Algeo, though. You know, I think he's an all right fighter. I don't think he's, you know, I don't look at him and go, you know, when we first saw Pete Yan fighting, even in the first couple fights, we were like, now this guy is a problem. I don't see him as that. He kind of, like I say, reminds me a bit of Nate Diaz, Brandon Royval, you know, all those kinds of fighters. A bit spindly, maybe quite easy to take down, but wriggles a lot, you know, not concussive striking, but volume striking stuff. He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough of him.
But the chats were a bit crap after. Not because I was offended or like
no,
but just because they just seemed a bit desperate.
I know, but people are constantly getting told, aren't they? You've got your opportunity on the mic, don't waste it and stuff like that. And this is the kind of crap you get from it, really. Not being nasty. Like that other bloke. What's the other bloke? The Tornado Cuban Missile bloke. You know, he goes mad on them chats and. You know, I mean, people chat about it and they like it. I mean, we've chatted about it, but we ain't got no choice. There was nothing else to chat about.
Julian Marquez.
That's him.
Yeah.
But as you said yourself,
he wants to know from the fans, what's the loudest stadium you've ever been in?
I mean, we get no comments or responses. I bet he got nothing either. But the Miley Cyrus thing works. Anyway, look, I'm not chatting about Missile. I'm going to go on to the next fight. Right? There you go. Bang. Next fight then. Dakota Hairy Bush versus, let's try and get this fella's name. Viacheslav Slavaclaus Borshchev. You ever got his first name for us?
Viacheslav. Isn't that what they were saying?
Do it again.
Viacheslav.
Oh, Viacheslav. Okay.
I think that's what they're saying on the broadcast. Yeah. Well, it wasn't John Anik, you know. He's the only guy you can really rely on for a perfect pronunciation. But
what's he called? He's the benchmark, isn't he, and all that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say before I even talk about this fight, and I forgot to mention it, is I'd say, you know, when they do that chat about most fight time spent in the octagon, GSP, with however many hours, 5 minutes and all that, I'd say there's someone that beats all of them, and he don't even fight that often. James Krause. I mean, he was in this all the way.
Yeah. I see him at the UFC more than I see Dana White or Hasbulla.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'd say time on UFC camera probably goes James Krause, Dana White, Hasbulla.
And it unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Name the characters.
I can't.
Why not? Oh, you don't know who he is. Okay, there's one. You don't know that one.
Right, spin it around.
That'll give you a clue to the first one.
Laurel Nardi or something?
Yeah, that's right. And in the middle?
Norman Wisdom.
Yes!
There you go. Yeah, the James Krause, not just James Krause, the James Krause. Yeah, he's you know, good for him. He's getting a decent stable of fighters together and you know, churning out UFC fighters, but he's getting a bit regular now. It's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, he was on this the whole
Any other
way.
in America?
They're meant to be. I know. Yeah, for madness. Anyway, so this guy, let's go with the nicknames then. You like that one, don't you, Hairy Bush?
Yeah, quite a good idea,
yeah. You don't think it's a little bit, you know, disgusting or anything?
Nah, that's fine.
Right.
Listen, if we're watching people getting, you know, their ligaments torn and get punched into concussion and, you know, flying smashes on the floor when Bisping's out cold, then I think we can deal with Hairy Bush.
I can deal with it, no bother.
Yeah.
I thought that this Hairy Bush fella, I actually thought he looked all right. And I was quite enjoying this fight until Bush, you know what I mean? End of round one, he ran a left hook to the body, and that was that. But I thought that Dakota Bush bloke looked all right.
I thought he looked all right as well, but to me, he looked like he was going to run out of breath, and he looked like he was already starting to look a little bit ragged and a little bit desperate. You know, I think he was going to be a guy that was going to be diving down for ankles and stuff like that all through round 2 and round 3. You know, I think that was going to be, if he didn't get done with that liver shot, that's the way the pattern the fight would have gone in. And I thought he looked all right as well. I thought I thought this guy's an underdog because he was the underdog in the fight. I thought he's definitely if let's put it like this, if I put a cheeky little fiver on him, I'd have been sitting there going, "Kid, lovely." But after obviously about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I'll be going,
yeah,
because he just looked like he put it all into the first few minutes. You know, decent body shot by that fella.
Yeah, good, wasn't it?
Yeah, didn't really get an opportunity to show much else, right? Got taken down, I think, a couple of times, this, that, and the other. But yeah, I thought they both showed things that were right. But again, I'm going to say the best thing about the fight was the dancing afterwards.
Loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. I mean, no joke. That one where he does the one there where he does the croucher version with the legs out, well difficult, no?
No, yeah,
skill, absolute skill. That
does, yeah.
Telling you, hands up. No, you know, he's got all the balance and the strength in the legs, kicking one leg out and then the other leg. I honestly, amazing. So yeah, and the walk. I love the walk off as well. That was good. So I think he's. I don't know if he's quite good, but that was a good body shot. That can't argue with that. And I thought the old Bush bloke looked all right and all.
Yeah, it did, but like I say, it looked to me like he threw it all into the first couple of minutes.
Correct. But look, it turns out to be one of the best fights on the card because it was one of 2 finishes. TKO round 1 to Borshchev. So not too bad that. Not too bad a fight.
Get on the next one.
Oh, the next one. All right, okay. Well, we're doing the next one. Yes. Well, yeah, right. This is what we're waiting for, man. Let's go. Bang. Yeah. Good. Katlyn Chookagian versus Jennifer Maia. I think I've got. Okay, let me describe this fight to you. Right, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I don't know what you thought of this, but I can't say I watched much of it. Surprise, surprise, a decision win for Chookagian. Well, I'm handing it over to you. See if you've got anything good to say about it.
Have I got anything good to say about it?
Okay, have you got anything to say about it? That was too much. I was sorry to put that on you. Not good, just anything.
Anything to say about it? No.
Yeah. I was going to say to podcast this, it requires talking.
Well, Chookagian's now had 14 UFC fights. She's won 10 before, so decent record. The only 2 stoppages in her 14 fights. I don't want to harp on about stoppages, right? Because stoppages, as you mentioned earlier, isn't symbolic of a good fight. You can have an absolute pants fight that has a stoppage in it, and you can have an amazing fight that goes the distance. It's not indicative or a prerequisite to have a good fight is to have a stoppage or a
That's
finish.
quite. You've used 3 words there. I think indicative,
prerequisite.
Prerequisite. What's the first one you used? Conducive or something like that. I mean, you've gone mad with it.
Yeah,
the Hick will love it.
I'm making up because I didn't say anything for about 30 seconds earlier. But
nice one.
The thing is 14 fights. The only stoppages in her fights has been 2, and she was on the receiving end of both of them. So she's never got a stoppage victory. She's got 10 wins, all by decision. I mean, we always say, don't we? Everyone that gets in there, we think they're amazing. You got to have respect for these people, what they do, putting their bodies on the line. Just getting through a fight camp and getting in there is impressive.
Oh, they do put their bodies online. They're all doing OnlyFans now, aren't they?
Well, not Misha Tate, but
no, that's right, yeah.
But it's just her fights they're a war of attrition.
Oh, another Powers word. Okay, so is that going to bring us on to the free agency chat and whether she'll get another contract and stuff like that? And I'll put you in UFC shoes, and would you give her another contract? I mean, she's done what you asked her to do. She won.
I would give her a contract because I actually thought this fight she actually looked a bit better than she has done in the last few. But the UFC can't just be about entertainment. It also has to have some credibility. And if she is one of the best, if she's won 10 out of 14 fights, then you have to say she's obviously one of the best fighters in that division. And so you kind of got to keep her about. And I know they have got rid of people before who haven't been entertaining, people like John Fitch, before their time, let's say. So they haven't really, the results they've got haven't merited being got rid of. And they've also kept people on who have exciting fighting styles that you could argue should have been cut. Dan Hardy, when he was on the skid, BJ Penn, people like that. So
what about the getting rid of people before their time? You mentioned John Fitch. What about Theodorou?
There's another one. That's a great example. Yeah, he had. When you look at his record, he had a decent UFC record. He had some decent victories.
He's done some good work.
He had a winning record in the UFC, but his fights, and who knows, maybe behind the scenes he was a bit of a difficult person to deal with, and so they got rid. And the way I would keep Chookagian because she's clearly one of the best fighters in that division. However, unfortunately, probably for her, it's also an entertainment business, and if you're not entertaining, you ain't going to get the big bucks. So if she wants to say she hasn't got much of a bargaining, she hasn't got much bargaining power when she goes into negotiations, because all she has on her side is, well, I keep beating these girls. It's like, yeah, you do, but in a way that's kind of annoying for the UFC, because you keep stopping people who are on, potential tears or, going up the divisions. So you're kind of creating a problem because you're stopping the next potential contender, but yet you don't ever look like you're going to be a champion yourself, and your fights aren't exciting. I mean, imagine if she won the belt, how would you try and sell a Chookagian main event? I mean, it'd be real rough, right, as a pay-per-view. So,
but not everyone can be a champion, and you've got to have fighters to fight people.
Exactly, yeah. And she
so,
fights regular, right? She's always in there. She's always fighting, and she's beating people. So to me, if you want to have some, the credibility element, you've got to keep her about. You've got to give her a new contract. I'm just saying that I wouldn't be breaking the bank for it, because to me, I'd be like, if she overestimates herself and goes, oh well, I can get more money elsewhere, it wouldn't be one that I wouldn't fight tooth and nail and go, no, please stay with us. I'd go, all right,
test it, test your free agency,
exactly,
enjoy yourself. Yeah.
So,
well, look, in that case, let's just say you said you would keep her on, so you've kept her on. That's the agreement. We don't need to you'd pay her or anything like that. What are you going to do there? Because she was on the main card here. Admittedly, not a brilliant card. So it's not like she really jumped up. I mean, she jumped above Court McGee. You know what I mean? That's understandable. But what would you say then? Look, I'll re-sign you, but your prelims, see you later, that kind of thing. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with prelims. I'm just saying, would there be any caveats in there?
Not really, no.
No, right, okay. Well, look, you've done enough. You've done enough. I'll add that she said that she was very happy that her husband was in the corner, and Biz has responded with, "Oh, it's nice to have your husband in the corner." Ask me, should take. I'll ask her. Let's see what she thinks about that. Know what I mean?
Or what was the other girl's name recently?
Aspen Ladd.
That's it. Yeah, Aspen Ladd. Ask her. I know they're not married, but ask her what she thinks about it.
Know what I mean?
I think there's something to be said about it. Sometimes, Bisping can say, "Oh, it's good," but
he was only responding to her saying it was good.
Next week, when someone throwing the towel, they'll go, "Oh, it's because they're too close. The relationship isn't right. It has to be strictly business and all this kind of stuff." It just these people change their opinion like the wind. I personally don't necessarily think it's good to have someone in your corner whose judgment is possibly clouded by them being related to you or married to you. These things sort of do affect and cloud your judgment, possibly. So it's not ideal, but you do have it. It's very common in boxing, isn't it? Fathers to be in the corner of their sons and stuff like that. But I just think that sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't.
Exactly, like anything, right? It's an individual thing. If it works for that person, they're happy with it. Then it works for that person, they're happy with it. But if it don't, and it's too awkward for them to get out of it because they're controlled or abused or whatever, then that's not good in a fighting corner or in their house, is it? It's just not good. Not good is not good, isn't it? So, so you know what I mean. But there you go. She said it was good, so business agreed. Oh yeah, it's great. So, they said it's always great, or whatever. Anyway, so next fight, because I ain't chatting about Chookagians anymore. As a matter of fact, we're a bit out of order. What about Jennifer Maia? Where's the chat about? Anyway, next fight is Brandon Royval, Raw Dog Royval versus Rogerio Bontorin. Brilliant name, that Bontorin. I like that a lot. So what are you saying? This is the next one. What are you saying about it?
This was another one of those fights where neither guy really did anything wrong. It just didn't interest or excite me too much. They both scrapped. They both do the classic left it all in the cage and all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, even by Royval's comments after the fight, he was beating himself up a little bit about his performance and stuff, wasn't he? It's funny how most of these fights, the thing we're talking about most is what happened after the fight, and just shows you how
uneventful the actual fight was. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, this fight was okay. It was another one that I felt that when it went to the judges' scorecards could go either way. Depends on what you kind of prefer.
You were right, because it was a split decision to Royval. He managed to squeeze that out, didn't he?
Yeah, again, it was a bit similar to the fight mentioned earlier that I've already forgotten, wiped it from my memory bank. Algeo, just like that, Royval was getting caught with way too many shots. Percentage-wise, it felt like he was getting caught basically with everything. It's just Bontorin didn't have the same output that Royval had.
But then again, I don't know. Like you said, it could have gone either way. I think Royval's brilliant. I do think he's a really good fighter. So I'm glad he won, if you like, because I think he's good. Just because he wasn't that good in that fight, I still think he's decent. It depends how you score these things, isn't it? I think he was all right, but then that Bontorin took him down quite a bit and spent a lot of time laying on him. So I thought that Bontorin bloke was going to win. And looking at his face, he also thought he was going to win, but often they do that. But he didn't, So, but I thought he would just through controlling most of it. Yeah, that stuff. Yeah. It
was, again, it weren't the most exciting fight in the world. It wasn't bad. probably not doing these fights a great, a little bit of a disservice. They're probably better than what I'm making out, but yeah,
they weren't.
None of them are going to live long in the memory. That's why of casual fans. I mean, they might live long in the memory of Algeo and people like that. But I mean, as you saw a minute ago, I've already forgotten Algeo.
Yeah, I mean, how short a memory do you need? Yeah, so, real bad.
Yeah. So Royval, I agree with you. I think he's good. I think he's got more potential and it's more exciting than Bontorin. So for me, it was good that he got the split decision because it could have gone either way.
Yeah,
because I'd rather see Royval move up and challenge someone at the top of the division than Bontorin, who I think is a little bit more run of the mill. So in that way,
and that's only because it was a stalemate type fight. If Bontorin, you really thought he should have won because he fought better, there's no way you'd be saying Royval, I'd rather he win. No. Rather he win. You'd rather he win based on the outcome of that fight, which was a pretty much nothing really happened. If we had to pick someone we wanted to win, that's maybe why then what's his name? The judge done it as well. It's like, well, I'd rather see him move up the chain than him. Might have been that as well. So
if that's the case, anyway, stop giving Chookagian these decisions then. Start giving them to the other girls, and then you'd have to stop judging her fights because she'll get cut.
Yeah, but then they would have given decisions to Jennifer Maia. I mean, we're in the same boat here.
Yeah, rock in a hard place. Yeah.
Right. Oh, well, there you go. So on to the next fight. One of my favourites. Yeah, come on, the Vanilla Gorilla, right? And Jake, the prototype Collier. I'm going to have to ask you. I want to know what they mean by the prototype. What is Jake the prototype? What is he the prototype of? I mean,
he's the prototype of, can you turn a normal, average-sized human being into a massive fighting machine? And I think the answer is no, you can't.
Yeah. The first bit is yes. It's a two-part answer. The first bit is yes, you can make a normal bloke massive, but can you turn him into a fighting machine? No. Although he did win this fight, and he was second of the only two finishes.
I thought he was all right in this fight.
I did as well. Yeah, and especially as he was against one of the top.
Yeah, we like it's Vanilla Gorilla, isn't it?
Brilliant.
The thing with the Vanilla Gorilla just doesn't seem to be able to win a fight.
No, I know. He's been in the UFC, out and back in. He's come back in. He's still getting done, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of.
I like him a lot. Big fight. I actually do like him, but
yeah, I don't think he can keep getting away with it. I think that I think he might be out after this.
I thought the same. Yeah, not that I want that. I think he's brilliant.
3 losses since he's got back in, I think it is.
Oh, really? And any wins since he's got back in, or just?
I don't think so. His last win was against Villanueva, which was in May 2020, but then his next fight was April 2021. So it's almost a full year away. So maybe that was his comeback fight, possibly. But now he's on. He's lost 3 on the spin. I think Villanueva was his comeback fight, because he won his 3 fights in island fights, and then came back, beat Villanueva, but then lost his next 3.
Well, that
usually, sort of 4-fight contract seems the sort of standard. People usually get sort of 4, maybe 5-fight deals, that kind of thing. So unless he's got one fight remaining on his current contract, I think he might be in a bit of trouble. He might be following Chikadze and having to check out free agency.
Yeah, it's a shame though, because I think he's got good potential, but I think you've said it, long time ago when we were first chatting about that we like him. He's a bit of a straightforward neck up, not great defense sort of bloke, isn't he? So, and he doesn't seem to fix that.
T-Rex boxing, and his head is just there to be hit all the time. Every fight he has, it's just he just takes so many punches to the head. It's just
bad plan.
Yeah, it's a shame because, as you say, he shapes up reasonably okay. It looks like his punches kind of come out not so bad, and his footwork seems to be not so bad. He seems reasonably athletic for a heavyweight. He just keeps his head just bang straight in the center. I don't know why he can't fix it. There's been no improvement on that since he's been getting banged in the head for having a straight up head for years now. So
maybe that's why he can't improve it, isn't it? You know what I mean? he keeps getting smashed in the head, and he's like, I don't remember why I get done anymore. Who knows? I don't know. But it is a shame because I do think he's got good potential, but we'll see what happens to him. It was a pretty good fight because it was rear naked choking round one. Nothing, but like you say, Collier was just pretty good in it. He caught a kick, took him down, landed some Powell's elbows. Sherman turned over, gave him his back, and he'd done the right thing, choked him out. And the truth is, I'm not surprised he couldn't get him off him because he got the mount, didn't he, for a bit, and he could not budge him. And maybe that's why the prototype has, done that to his bod because he couldn't get him off him. Not a chance. It's no surprise, right? Try getting that off you. You know what I'm saying?
I think that the problem with Collier is that if he was just a new heavyweight that came on the scene looking like that, wouldn't think anything of it, wouldn't say anything about it because
there's plenty there already that we don't say nothing about, right? Yeah,
it just looks like a run-of-the-mill heavyweight, right? His bod's is certainly not the worst heavyweight body in the UFC. It's actually not so bad.
Who's the worst one?
I don't know who the worst one is. I'll have to have a think about that. And then decide whether I want to air it publicly, just in case I ever bump into him. But
don't worry, mate. No one's listening or watching. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. That's the only saving grace. But but Collier, we give him a hard time because he was an athletic physique, and he's just decided he hasn't just decided I'm not cutting weight anymore, and I want to eat what I want, so I'll go up one weight class. He's decided I'm not just going to eat what I want anymore. I'm going to eat what I want anymore and shitloads of it. And
be massive by purpose. Yeah.
So
up to heavyweight because didn't he skip two? And he gone up 2 weights?
I can't remember. Didn't he used to be a middleweight?
I think he was definitely a 185. 185. So he skipped 205. He might have done it for a bit and then just went to forget it. I'm going all out.
Yeah, there you go. He won the RFA middleweight championship in 2014. Light heavyweight debut in 2017, and he only lasted at light heavyweight for 2 fights. So he obviously went, no.
He's stabbing hungry. Yeah,
I'm not spending any time in the sauna. And 2 fights later, heavyweight debut. As heavyweight, he's doing all right. 2 wins, 2 losses. Not too bad. One of the losses was a split decision. The other one was against Tom Aspinall, also known as Tom Aspinwall. Charles Sonnen. So not too bad, really. Could easily be 3-1. Could easily be on a 3-fight win streak. Although one of those wins was against John Vellante, who is not a real heavyweight either.
But he's absolutely fantastic.
He's another Chase Sherman.
I like him loads. I think he's brilliant.
Just blocks punches with his head.
Yeah.
Monster
Hawkins, that move.
Yeah.
Look, I don't get that moving up to heavyweight thing. I do get it, but I don't as in the way he's done it. I mean, just grub. What I'm saying is, right, if he still trained loads, I'm not saying he don't train loads. How do I know, right? But it's just a bit weird that the only change that I can see is, just grub. There's no muscle business or nothing. It's just, it's I don't know. It's a weird transition. But anyway, he done all right.
The transition you could compare it to would be someone like Rumble Johnson, right? Going all the way from welterweight all the way up to light heavyweight. I think I never had a heavyweight smash. But anyway, light heavyweight. When he went to light heavyweight, though, he still looked muscly, right?
He's done heavyweight as well, I think. Yeah.
Solid.
So, yeah.
He still looked muscly. He still looked solid. So
exactly.
But anyway,
right. So, but the only thing I will say is we talk about things that happened after the fight. He called out Justin Taffer, Collier, for not making weight. Blimey. I mean, it's like, listen, I don't know how you did either, but of all the things to do is to sort of bring up someone's weight. Rightly so in the fighting business, of course. He's just saying, because he didn't make weight, did he, Taffer? That was a weird one. How did he not make weight? How did he not make weight?
He had a bad weight cut.
It's weird, though, isn't it?
Whatever he usually walks around at, 300 odd pounds.
God knows.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
God knows.
But anyway, in a couple of fights, I imagine Jake Collier will be calling for a new super heavyweight division or something like that.
If he carries on going the way he's going.
Yeah.
Next fight, main event, the final fight on this card. Calvin Kattar versus Giga, Ninja Chikadze.
I'm just going to say that I've not seen that picture of Kattar before. And the Max Holloway fight obviously took a lot out of him because he looks like he's aged about 20 years in that picture. He looks like he's been through, one of those apps on the phone when they make your hair
He
go.
does look a bit aged. Yeah.
Because I actually think he looks wicked. Like, in real life, he looks good. Good bod.
Oh,
Good
he's quite, yeah.
good hair. I mean, yeah, he looks wicked beard. He looks wicked. But in that photo, he looks like your uncle. It's like not your uncle, but just like an uncle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I ain't got no uncles that look that qual. I've got some good ones, but they're not qual like that. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he does look a bit older there, but that's what having a smash with Holloway will do to you.
There could be some truth in it. I mean, this was a good fight, like you said earlier. It's nice to have a good ending to. Was a boring card. Is the truth, because we ain't chatting about the prelims; they were crap and all. I gave all 5 rounds to Kattar on this while I was watching it. Possibly one round here could have been for Chikadze, but
possibly
the definite win, for sure for Kattar. Easy. I mean, that was obvious, but I think I gave all the rounds to him.
Yeah, I think the second round you could make a claim possibly for Chikadze. There was a closer round. Let's say it was close enough. And I think also the first round there was one of the tweets that comes up in the bottom corner. One of the journalists gave the first round to Chikadze, saying, and I understood his point where he said the damage and the striking was better from Chikadze till he got taken down. But he was taken down for such a long. Admittedly, Kattar didn't do much with the takedown.
He was threatening with submissions, if you remember.
Yeah, that's right.
He was.
I think at one point.
Yeah.
He kept him down there for a long time. Kept on top of him for ages. And let's be honest, it weren't like the striking beforehand it weren't like he was getting lit up. It was just a few sort of leg kicks and stuff like that. So it was a bit weird to give the first round to Chikadze, but I do understand his logic. I just don't agree with it. But yeah, I mean, a sort of a 49-46 card would have been, acceptable. But yeah, it was. And I always felt he was in the fight, Chikadze. I always felt that he was only one clean boot or spinning elbow away from, possibly winning the fight.
He didn't look incapable of winning. Yeah, yeah.
And I thought Kattar looked a little bit too reckless. He was coming forward, straightforward. He looked a little bit like
rushing a bit.
Yeah, I just thought he was being a little bit overly aggressive after that. I know the first round was good because he kind of took a lot of the breath out of Chikadze and stuff like that. He just looked like he was being a little bit too overconfident that he couldn't get knocked out by Chikadze. I thought,
but isn't this how you combat the Giga kick?
Yeah, by being overly aggressive, closing down the space and stuff.
Closing the distance, right? Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I appreciate that, but I don't know. There was just obviously, I like Kattar a lot, and I was just through rounds 3, 4, and 5. I was still sitting there a little bit like, just dial it back a little bit. Just thought he was getting a little bit too comfortable walking forward. But some of these elbows that he landed and stuff were brilliant. I mean, like
nice elbows,
martial arts movies type moves and stuff like that. Really
done some good spinning attacks, spinning the back fist, spinning elbows and all that, but at good times, as there was a couple of points where Chikadze started putting the pressure on himself and going, fair enough, I'm not going to stay back and kick. This guy is walking me down, and he came back himself. And when he did, Kattar was, spinning elbows and spinning back fists and all that. And I thought that was good because it showed he was thinking during the fight. He didn't wait till the next round or get told what to do. He reacted in the moment. So I think he was really good, yeah. But yes, of course, you can pick holes in it. He did himself in the post-fight interview, didn't he? He said, winners shouldn't really look like I look now. I've got things to learn or whatever, and that is fair. But he had
once he got towel on his face and stuff, he didn't look so bad. He
felt like crap as well, innit? Yeah.
Sorry?
He felt like crap as well, he said. He said feel garbage.
Well, look, he absorbed a lot of strikes, regardless of whether we say it's 49-46 or 50-45. He took a lot of strikes and a lot of damage in that fight. Somebody came up with a tweet saying that Kattar, in his last 2 fights with Holloway and Chikadze, obviously the bulk of them will be from the Holloway fight, but he's absorbed more strikes in those 2 fights than something like 90% of the UFC roster have absorbed in their whole UFC careers. In just 2 fights.
Mad stat, that, isn't it? Yeah.
And, if that's true, then look, we know that the bulk of it was Holloway, but like I say, regardless of whether it was 50, 45, 49, 46, that was a hard slog, that fight. And he took a lot of damage. And I know that people say, oh, well, it shows, that you can come back from one of those kind of Max Holloway style fights. That ain't the kind of fight I would wanted him to come back to. That was too rough. It was still too rough, that.
Demanding. Very demanding, yeah.
Yeah, grueling. There you go. There's another one.
That's
grueling.
it. Another one.
Yeah, now it's your
Take
turn.
that, Hick.
I've done that yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Grueling, demanding, very strenuous.
Yeah, good one. Yeah. Yeah. Draining,
yeah, quite good. Very depleting.
Very
taxing. Love it. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Look, I could do more, but for the sake of the viewers that we don't have any, but for the sake of them, I'll leave it. Yeah. I haven't been done. You didn't do me.
Put your own word in the comments below.
Yeah, please. I tell you what, maybe, what's his name? Kieran Bailey. Maybe he can. He normally pulls out the stops for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, good fight though.
It was a good fight. Did Chikadze, not to say get what he deserves, but did he get taken down a peg or two? Given it all the chat about the Volkanovski fighting Chan Sung Jung, which I agree that wasn't the best option on the table, but that's a chat for another time. Was he given a little bit, does he have to take his medicine here? I mean, he has come out afterwards and said, if I fought Kattar 10 times, I'd win 9 of them. So, well, you really
that was going to be my response. No, he ain't been taken down a peg, because that was the one out of the 9 times out of 10 he's doing. That was the one. So the next 9 times he would do him. Don't sound like a bloke who's taking his medicine publicly, but you don't know what the coaches be saying, and surely he'll be thinking that himself, going, all right, look, I can definitely get done. Because when he on some sort of 9-fight streak, and like you say, he was already looking past Kattar, or he was chatting like he was looking past him anyway. I'm not saying he was, but the chats beforehand were definitely, well, I'll smash this guy up, and then I'll go and smash Volkanovski up. I don't even mind those chats, because he's just being confident, going, well, I'm going to do the next bloke. Why can't he think I'm going to do the next bloke? But yeah, this is a humbling experience, or for some people could be. Yeah,
definitely should be a humbling experience. Yeah, I understand why he was confident. He's beaten Cub Swanson, he's beaten Barboza. Those are 2 very, very good wins. But let's be honest, they're not top 5 wins. They are wins that get you sort of ranked maybe 6 to 10, but they're not wins that get you ranked 1 to 5. So I think this is the first time he's fought, if you like, a top 5 guy. Kattar is ranked number 5. He came out of it looking like his face had been shoved into a wood chipper. Yeah, just right on cue. Looked like his face had gone through a wood chipper. He can say that he would win that fight 9 times out of 10, but on the evidence of that fight, he wouldn't. Now, he might argue, look, and by the way, this is one thing I really liked about Kattar. When that opportunity for that takedown presented itself, he really went for it. And I think you don't know what effect that had on the fight. That first round may have drained Chikadze enough, also made him worry about the takedown enough that it changed the course of that fight. If he didn't get that takedown, we don't know that Chikadze wouldn't have, banged him out round 2, round 3. No, maybe that's what Chikadze is clinging on to. He's clinging on to the fact of got taken down, not with a run-of-the-mill double leg or something like that. It was kind of I missed a kick, sort of lost my balance, and he capitalized. Maybe Chikadze's thinking, if that didn't happen, I'll just smash that guy easy. But he can say what he wants. He still got blasted for the 4 rounds afterwards, or three of the 4 rounds afterwards.
Yeah.
I think he's really good, Chikadze. He's definitely a top 10 bloke, but he's clearly not a top 5 bloke, right? Because he just got mashed up by the bloke ranked number 5. And I don't look at that now and get excited for Kattar to challenge one of the top blokes.
He's one of your top blokes, though. You love him. You think he's great. He's good.
I do like him a lot. And I think he done really well, and he had a good game plan to win this fight. But I don't think he looked particularly snappy or crisp.
No.
You know what I mean? I really like.
But he was against top qual opposition. He was against top qual guy.
Yeah. We'll find out.
With a lot
We'll
of
find out
talks,
about Kattar next fight as well. I think it's going to be important to see, how he looks. That was it. That was a war of attrition. It'll be interesting to see how he does in a fight that's just more based on just say skill, speed, those kinds of things. But
all right, well,
I thought he just looked a bit. He looked a bit slower than he has done in previous fights.
what do you think his next fight will be then? Do you think he'll take the winner of the Volks and Zomba?
No, I don't think so.
No, and he's saying in between.
Yeah. I'm unfortunately, so you know how much I like him. It's going to be Holloway Volks next, isn't it?
What happened to Zombie? Thought Holloway's in.
Sorry, the winner of of Volk.
Oh,
obviously, I'm looking past.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Whoever, if Zombie wins, then
I'm assuming that Volkanovski will win. Which
if Volkanovski wins, if Zombie wins, then Volkanovski, I don't know, he'd probably get a rematch. I don't know that, but probably, and then I don't know, who knows? But yeah, okay, you're saying in that scenario it would be Holloway because he was due to fight him anyway. I get that. Yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah.
To me, I think it probably a next good fight would be against Rodriguez. Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah, the other one who was throwing his hat in the ring.
And then the winner of that is, I think, justifiable. You could put him in a title shot. Yair, not so much. He's only what? He would be 1-1 after having a massive long layoff, so he wouldn't really have justified getting a title shot. But you could still give him one. But yeah. I don't know. With Kattar, hopefully that Holloway and that fight won't have accrued into too much damage, and hopefully he's
amalgamated into.
It won't have consolidated itself into a more damaging outcome.
It won't have rolled into.
We'll leave it there for the sake of the viewers, but put your own.
Yeah, exactly. So look, that's the end of that card. We'll leave it on, the happy Calvin Kattar and his team winning that fight. Good win for him. Really put the brakes on Chikadze because he was giving it all the chat. But they're both brilliant fighters, and evidence of that is the fight itself, which was a decent fight to watch. It was an enjoyable one.
It was a really good fight.
Much needed after the previous few hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there you go.
I was happy with the outcome as well.
Oh,
I do actually like Chikadze, but as you know, Kattar's a bit one of my guys I really like. So
fair enough. Yeah, you backed him, you support him, and he got the job done.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's our little recap chat on UFC Fight Night, Kattar versus Chikadze, and I'm ending it. I'm learning from the past, and I'm gonna
give the event a score out of 10 before you go.
Oh, now to do that, I'm gonna need to think about it and add more chats. A score out of 10. Yeah. What am I doing out of 10? The event or
the whole event? The whole event.
Everything, prelims, the lot. Just
the event as a whole. That's what the event as a whole means.
3.
Oof.
Yeah, that's only because of
that. I bet you most of that's down to Kattar and Chikadze, isn't it?
Yeah, it was going to get a 2, and I went no because that was it was a good fight, a good ending, and I did like kidney shot bloke, Borshchev. I liked that, but no, it was honestly it was you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was pouring. It was a pouring. What's your score, please?
I'll say like a 4.
Yeah, well,
But that again, bulk of that is down to the main event. A couple of other, decent, okay fights that on any other card would have been, fine. But, on this they get elevated to a little bit better than that because the rest of it stunk.
Yeah,
that's a bit harsh, but there were some.
I tell you what, it did stink, and you know why? Because early on the prelims, one of the fighters was Kevin Kroom, and he looks like a stinker from hell, doesn't he? Eh?
Did he lose? He lost, didn't he? Decision. Yeah. Who did he fight?
Who did he fight? Okay, Kelleher, Boom Kelleher.
Ah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, quite like Kelleher. Anyway, like we said, we'll learn from the past. We'll leave it there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We've done the chat. We've covered the fights. Thanks very much for doing it. And well, I'll see you on the next one. See you later.